This here is something that was just a little bit too big for me not to talk about. The first thing I want to say is, and this is kind of important, is I didn't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said. I'm going to go with about half, something like that. But I was not someone who was like 90% there with him. The first thing I noticed, on X especially, but not exclusively, is that a lot of people were happy this happened. And my first reaction was, obviously, whatever you believe politically, I'm in that space that you shouldn't be happy about it. Then someone kind of mentioned to me some comparisons about if someone died, it was a different person that you really didn't like, and you thought it was justified to be happy about it, would that change it? Along those lines. So I thought for a second, and the conclusion I came to was, it depends. Okay, here's what I mean. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So if you're celebrating the fact that he died, you're celebrating and condoning assassination. If somebody dies on natural terms, it's cancer, it's a car crash, it's a freak accident, that's different than condoning and celebrating assassination. So all these people walking around saying, don't tell me not to celebrate this and that, you're not actually celebrating what you think you are. So that's the first thing I got to say. The second thing is, well, obviously, we're at a point now, someone can just get the ultimate penalty for just debating what they think. As I said in the beginning, and I'm going to keep reminding you, I don't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said. Or still says, because his voice isn't actually going away. But he's definitely got the right to say it and not suffer a penalty for that. Now, some people seem to think the worse it is what you say, the worse you deserve this punishment, which is just completely wrong. And if anything, it makes me listen to what he has to say harder and think about it harder on things I disagreed with. So that's basically the foundation of how I feel. Let's take a look at X. Not going to get into some, really gritty stuff. This is YouTube, but yeah, we'll take a look at some. So this here is an army officer who's saying he should be able to celebrate what happened to Charlie. Again, I gotta circle back to what I said. If this was natural causes, a freak accident, it would be a little different. But this guy, the army officer, is condoning assassination. He's condoning the method in which it happened, which is the really important thing for you to remember. It's about people not understanding they're condoning the method. This person here is a nurse. That's actually pretty scary. And I'm going to think that a lot of nurses, at least in the States, think like her. So what she said was, this is at the time we weren't sure if he actually passed or not, that she hopes he does. From a nurse. I mean, what can I say? I mean, I know there's some great nurses out there, and probably the majority are. My wife's a nurse. My wife's sister's a nurse. I know a lot of nurses. In a certain way, you have to be somewhat of a good person to do the job, but I mean, if I've got like the wrong political thing on my shirt, is my nurse gonna, take less care of me or hate me or hope I die because I might have a certain opinion on an issue you disagree with? That's the fucking message I'm getting here. Are people in the army gonna celebrate death if I've got a different opinion than them? Is that American? Is that what they're fighting for? Is that really what they think they're defending? Is like freedom? Or it's just spite? It's actually getting pretty scary. So at first I thought there were people like this. Looks like kind of a girl in her 20s or something like that. Very, very liberal, very, very on that side. And although I think it's disgusting, I understand more so why this type of person would be happy and celebrate. Their pretty much brain is melted from political polarization. But nurses and army officers was kind of a surprise. This guy here is apparently a singer-songwriter. So, I mean, it's not just, in my opinion, this one fringe group of polarized political people. It's pretty widespread. And here is Ilan Omar, and let's hear what she has to say, and I'll respond to this. I understand, in a way, where people are coming from that say this, but still they're wrong.
But what I do know for sure is that, Charlie was someone who once said, guns save lives, after a school shooting. Charlie was someone who was willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd in the hands of Minneapolis police.
I think he called him a scumbag.
Right, have no regard, downplay slavery and what Black people have gone through in this country by saying Juneteenth should never exist.
Okay, fine. I get it. People disagree with those things Charlie said. I think he went overboard sometimes, whatever. The point is, this person is a senator or in Congress, sorry, I don't exactly know, whatever the hell it is, and she's condoning pretty much and excusing assassination. Okay? She's not understanding the method in which it happened. If Charlie Kirk said every bad thing under the book about everybody and whatever, you still can't condone this method of how it happened. That's it. You're wrong and you're disgusting. You can't condone that. Once again, if it had been some kind of a natural cause, it would be a little different because you're not actually supporting any way in how it happened. But this person here, this government official, she is condoning assassination. That's what she's doing. That's my silly opinion. This one is not my usual content, but it was just a little bit too big of an issue to let go. And if you're still watching, if we're being honest, the pop culture and entertainment stuff has pretty much really just plateaued out to almost nothing. I'll always be covering Johnny. I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. We have that. But, other news is really, really slim these days. All right, that's my piece about the channel. Obviously, we're done here. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.